welcome to this deep dive. We're going to be looking at The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. And we're going to tailor this specifically to coaches who are in the thick of their coaching career journey.
I think that's a great idea because the obstacle is the way. You draws upon so many different historical figures and also ancient philosophy to show how to turn obstacles into advantages.
Yeah, and it's packed with stories about some really fascinating people. I mean, we've got John D. Rockefeller, Thomas Edison, Steve Jobs, even a boxer with a killer smile.
Yeah.
Jack Johnson.
Okay.
So there's a lot to unpack here. But I think what's going to be really valuable for coaches listening is how we can take these lessons and these strategies and apply them to growing their impact, attracting clients, and building a sustainable coaching business. So are you ready to dive in?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right. So right off the bat, the book kicks off with Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor who is also a Stoic philosopher.
Yeah, talk about a high-pressure job.
I know, right? Dealing with wars and plagues and even coup attempts. But he approached each obstacle as a chance to practice these virtues like patience, courage, self-control.
Yeah, and I think it's a testament to the core idea of Stoicism, which is it's not about what happens to you, it's about how you react.
Right.
He didn't just endure these things, he thrived.
Yeah.
You know, I think he really embodied that Stoic ideal of finding opportunity in every obstacle.
Yeah, and that seems to be the common thread that runs through the whole book. Like, take John D. Rockefeller.
Oh, yeah.
During the Panic of 1857.
Yeah.
Everyone else is freaking out.
Yeah.
He's like, wait a second. This is my chance.
Yeah.
And he ends up making a fortune.
It's such a fantastic illustration of how perception shapes our reality. He didn't buy into the fear and the panic.
Right.
Instead, he I think he developed that ability to see the market objectively.
Yeah.
When other people were fearful, he saw opportunity. When other people were greedy, he exercised caution. And I think that that's something that any coach can benefit from.
It's so true because as a coach, it's so easy to get caught up in those anxieties.
Absolutely.
Of building a business.
Yeah.
Especially when you're just starting out.
Yeah.
So to have that ability to step back, assess the situation clearly, and then make strategic decisions even when everything feels chaotic around you.
Yeah.
I think that's such a powerful skill to cultivate.
It really is. And I think, speaking of somebody who had to deal with incredibly challenging situations, the book also talks about Reuben Hurricane Carter.
Yes.
The boxer who was wrongly convicted of murder, spent years in prison, and yet despite this incredibly challenging situation, he refused to let his circumstances define him. He maintained his dignity, he maintained his mental strength, even when he was stripped of his freedom.
It's incredible. It's like he cultivated this inner strength that allowed him to rise above his situation.
Mental fortitude.
Yeah. And I think in the coaching world, too, you're going to face setbacks, right? You're going to have client cancellations, maybe even negative reviews.
Absolutely.
But just like Hurricane Carter, you can choose how you respond to those setbacks.
Yeah.
You can maintain that focus and determination.
Yeah. I think a big theme here is you don't control what happens to you.
Right.
But you control how you respond to it.
Absolutely. The book also talks about this idea of objectivity.
Yes.
And uses the example of Miyamoto Musashi.
Oh, yeah, the legendary swordsman.
Yes, the legendary Japanese swordsman. And he emphasizes the importance of distinguishing between the observing eye and the perceiving eye.
It's such a great distinction because, so often we see things through the filter of our own emotions, our own judgments.
Right.
But the observing eye sees things simply as they are.
Okay, so the perceiving eye is kind of clouded by our emotions.
Exactly.
By our judgments, by our preconceived notions.
Yeah.
And the observing eye is kind of that pure objective lens.
Yes.
And I think as coaches, that's such a valuable tool to have.
Absolutely.
When you're working with clients.
Yeah. Yeah, imagine a coaching client comes to you and they're feeling stuck and they're feeling frustrated.
Right.
And you, instead of getting swept up in that emotional whirlwind, you can help them see the situation more clearly. Maybe identify some limiting beliefs and create a path forward.
It's like you're helping them to develop their own observing eye.
Exactly.
Yeah. And this kind of ties in with General Eisenhower during World War II.
Yeah.
When he was faced with this massive German counteroffensive.
Oh, yeah, the Battle of the Bulge.
Yeah. And instead of panicking, he basically said, the present situation is to be regarded as an opportunity for us and not disaster.
This is such a powerful example of reframing, because that shift in perspective allowed the Allies to see the vulnerabilities in the German attack, and ultimately it led to their victory.
Wow.
So for coaches, it's about how can you reframe those failures or setbacks as opportunities for growth and learning.
Yeah.
Maybe a client canceling their contract opens up space for you to refine your niche or attract a different type of client.
Yeah, it's about asking yourself, what can I learn from this?
Yeah.
How can I use this to improve my services or reach a wider audience?
Exactly.
Okay. So we've talked about controlling our perception, but the book also emphasizes the importance of taking action, like not just thinking or strategizing, but actually doing something.
Absolutely.
And it uses Amelia Earhart as a great example.
Oh, yeah.
She faced so much resistance as a female pilot back in the 1920s.
In the 1920s, being a pilot was hard enough, but being a woman?
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
But she was determined she wouldn't be stopped. She even had the motto, always think with your stick forward.
I love that.
Painted on her plane.
It speaks to that entrepreneurial spirit that coaches need to embrace. You can spend hours refining your website, crafting the perfect coaching package, but eventually you have to put yourself out there.
Yes. You have to launch.
You have to start marketing.
Start talking to people.
You got to engage with potential clients.
Exactly. And I think those first steps, even if they feel imperfect, can be so powerful.
Absolutely.
They can be the catalyst for growth and success.
It's about being bold, taking risks, learning as you go.
Yeah. And speaking of learning as you go, the book talks about persistence.
Yes.
Using Ulysses S. Grant's Siege of Vicksburg during the Civil War.
Oh, yeah. He spent almost a year trying to break through the city's defenses.
It's amazing.
Trying different approaches until he finally succeeded.
So it's not even just persistence. It's about iteration.
Yes.
He didn't give up after the first attempt failed.
He kept trying different tactics, learning from each setback, and eventually found a way to achieve his goal.
It reminds me of Thomas Edison.
Oh, yeah.
And his countless attempts to create the light bulb.
That classic image of him surrounded by, piles of failed filaments.
Yeah.
But he understood that setbacks were part of the process.
Right.
And that each failure brought him closer to success. Such a powerful message for coaches, especially those who are just starting to build their business.
Yeah, your first coaching program or marketing strategy might not be a hit right out of the gate.
Right.
It's about having that persistence to keep refining your approach.
Keep iterating.
Learning from your experiences and using feedback to improve your offerings.
Yeah. Embracing the process, knowing that it's a journey, not a destination.
Absolutely.
And speaking of processes, the book brings up a concept from the tech world called the minimum viable product.
MVP.
The MVP.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to hear how this applies to coaching.
So the idea behind the MVP is to launch a product with just the core features.
Okay.
Get it out into the world.
Right.
And then refine it based on user feedback.
Okay.
So for coaches, this can be a game changer because instead of waiting until you have the perfect coaching program or the perfect website, you can start offering a basic version of your services.
Get feedback from clients and then refine your offerings based on their needs.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic way to overcome perfectionism.
Yeah.
And just get your coaching business up and running.
It's about taking action, learning, adapting as you go.
Yeah. Okay. So we've talked about overcoming challenges, but the obstacle is the way.
Yeah.
Doesn't just stop there.
No.
It actually suggests that we can use obstacles to our advantage.
Like judo.
Like judo.
Yeah, you're using your opponent's strength against them.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So think about Gandhi's Satyagraha movement, where he strategically used the British Empire's own strength against them. So it's about finding those leverage points that allow you to stand out and make a real impact.
So for coaches, this could mean identifying challenges or gaps in the coaching industry and positioning themselves as thought leaders who offer unique solutions or perspectives.
Maybe you're passionate about a specific coaching niche that's underserved.
Right.
Maybe you see a need for a new type of coaching program.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing those opportunities and using them to differentiate yourself.
So it's not just about overcoming the obstacle.
Right.
It's about using the obstacle as a springboard to launch you forward.
To propel you forward.
Okay. So the book also delves into this concept of mental fortitude.
Yes.
And it highlights the story of Theodore Roosevelt,
Oh, yeah.
Who transformed himself from a sickly child into a robust individual.
He literally built a home gym to overcome his physical limitations.
I love that. It's such a powerful reminder that we have the ability to cultivate resilience and strength, both physically and mentally.
It's about creating those daily habits and practices that build inner strength, whether it's mindfulness, journaling, exercise, connecting with nature.
Yeah, it's like creating a mental workout routine to strengthen those inner muscles, just as Roosevelt built a physical gym to strengthen his body.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about controlling our perception, taking action, using obstacles to our advantage, and building mental fortitude. So what other practical tips does the book offer for coaches?
Well, one of the things that I find really intriguing is this concept of a pre-mortem.
A pre-mortem, what is that?
So a pre-mortem is an exercise where you imagine potential challenges and you develop contingency plans.
I see.
It's like a general preparing for battle by anticipating every possible scenario and having a plan in place.
Okay.
So for a coach, this could mean taking the time to really think through potential obstacles.
So what if you hit a slow month with no new clients?
Exactly.
What if you encounter a challenging client who's resistant to change?
Yeah. What if your marketing campaign falls flat?
Yeah.
By anticipating those challenges, you can develop strategies to navigate them successfully.
I love that. It's about being proactive.
Yeah.
And having a plan A, B, and C in place.
Exactly.
The book also talks about this idea of the art of acquiescence, which means basically accepting the things that we can't control.
Accepting the things we can't control.
And I think of Thomas Jefferson, who had a speech impediment, but went on to become a brilliant writer and pen the Declaration of Independence.
That's right.
It's a reminder that we all have limitations.
Yeah.
But by accepting those limitations and focusing on our strengths, we can achieve incredible things.
Absolutely. And I think for coaches, this could mean recognizing that you don't have to be good at everything.
Right.
Maybe social media marketing isn't your forte.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Right.
Focus on your strengths.
Yeah.
Delegate or outsource tasks that drain your energy or that, don't align with your talents.
So again, it's about focusing on what you can control.
Exactly.
And letting go of what you can't.
And there's another really important Stoic concept from the book that speaks to that.
All right.
Amor fati.
Amor fati.
Yeah.
Okay, I've heard that before, but remind me what it means.
It means loving your fate.
Loving your fate.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the book shares this amazing story about Thomas Edison's reaction when his factory burned down.
Oh, wow.
And, instead of, despairing, he saw it as an opportunity to rebuild and innovate.
Wow, imagine having that mindset.
Right. To see the opportunity within the adversity.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
That is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
So how can a coach practically apply this concept of amor fati to their business?
Well, imagine a coach is facing a period of low client bookings.
Okay.
Instead of getting discouraged, they could embrace this as a chance for growth. Maybe they invest in professional development. Maybe they revamp their marketing strategies. Maybe they use the time to write that book they've always dreamed of. It's about shifting that perspective from, why is this happening to me, to, what can I learn from this? How can I use this to become stronger, more creative, more resilient?
Okay. So it sounds like the obstacle is the way is offering not just inspiration, but a practical roadmap for coaches who are navigating their careers.
Absolutely. And remember, we've just scratched the surface.
We have. This has been incredible so far.
Yeah.
It's packed with so many insights and actionable advice for coaches, but we're just getting started. Welcome back to our deep dive into The Obstacle is the Way. We're really exploring how this ancient philosophy of Stoicism can be such a powerful guide for coaches, especially those who are building, thriving businesses. So before we jump into the next set of principles, I'd love to hear from you. What's resonated with you so far?
Well, I think what I find really fascinating is how these Stoic principles, were developed centuries ago, but they're still so incredibly relevant for coaches today.
Yeah.
The stories of figures like Rockefeller and Edison.
Right.
They really highlight that challenges are timeless and that, a shift in perspective can really lead to breakthroughs.
Yeah, it's like they had this roadmap for navigating challenges.
Yeah.
And we get to benefit from their wisdom.
Absolutely.
And speaking of roadmaps, the book uses this epic tale of Odysseus's journey home from Troy to illustrate the importance of perseverance, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Odysseus's journey is the ultimate example of perseverance.
Yeah.
Imagine facing storms and monsters and years of captivity, and yet never giving up hope of returning home. That's the level of commitment and resilience that I think coaches need to cultivate, especially when they're building a business.
And the book actually draws a distinction between persistence and perseverance.
Oh, yeah.
Which I found really helpful.
Yeah.
It's not just about, banging your head against the same wall repeatedly.
Right.
But it's about having that long-term vision and adapting your approach as you navigate the inevitable ups and downs.
Exactly. Persistence is about tackling a single problem until it breaks.
Okay.
Perseverance is the long game.
Right.
It's that ability to navigate a series of challenges over time.
Yeah. So how can a coach cultivate that kind of perseverance?
Well, one of the things that the book really emphasizes is the importance of serving others.
Okay.
And it tells the story of Admiral James Stockdale, who was a prisoner of war in Vietnam.
Right.
He endured years of captivity by focusing on the well-being of his fellow prisoners and recognizing that service to others actually provided him with strength and purpose even in the face of unimaginable adversity.
That's incredibly powerful. And it reminds me of how coaching itself is an act of service.
Absolutely.
Right. By focusing on their clients' transformations, helping them to achieve their goals, coaches can really tap into a deeper source of resilience and meaning, especially during those challenging times when self-doubt might creep in.
Absolutely. And it's not just, it doesn't have to be limited to your coaching clients.
Yeah.
It could also mean mentoring other coaches, volunteering your skills, supporting causes that you believe in.
So it's about shifting that focus from solely building a business to really using your coaching skills to make a positive impact.
And what's interesting is that focus on serving others actually can help to fuel your own growth and sustainability. Stoicism is not about passive acceptance.
Right.
It's about channeling your energy constructively and finding ways to contribute, using those obstacles as fuel for growth.
Yeah. And the book actually gives us a great example of tennis legend Arthur Ashe.
Oh, yeah.
Who faced, racial discrimination throughout his career.
Yeah, he had to deal with so much injustice.
Yeah.
But he channeled that frustration into this bold and elegant playing style.
So instead of letting those external forces define him, he turned them into fuel for his success.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I see this parallel with President Obama when, the pastor's controversial sermons became national news.
Oh, yeah.
He could have tried to ignore the situation.
Right.
But instead, he chose to address it head on.
Yeah, turned what could have been a really damaging situation into what he called a teachable moment.
Yeah.
And his speech on race is still considered one of the most eloquent and unifying speeches in modern history.
He used that obstacle as an opportunity to connect with people on a deeper level.
Absolutely.
And I think this is incredibly relevant for coaches, too.
Yeah.
When you're willing to be authentic, to be vulnerable, even to share your own struggles.
Yeah.
I think it builds trust and deepens that connection with your clients.
And it allows you to see those moments, because those obstacles, they push us to get creative and find new ways of approaching things.
Yeah. So as the book says, what stands in the way becomes the way.
I love that.
It's about finding that opportunity within the obstacle.
Yeah.
And really reframing challenges as stepping stones to growth.
Absolutely.
And this brings us to the concept of the inner citadel that the book explores using the story of Theodore Roosevelt.
Oh, yeah. I love that story. Yeah. His transformation from this sickly child to this robust individual, it really highlights the importance of building inner strength.
He faced so many physical challenges.
He did.
But he didn't let them define him.
Right. He trained his body. He trained his mind.
Yeah.
Almost like he was building a fortress within himself.
Yeah. And I think that's such a powerful metaphor for coaches as well.
Absolutely.
Right?
We can develop those mental and emotional muscles that allow us to face the inevitable challenges of entrepreneurship with resilience and confidence.
So building that inner citadel is really about cultivating those inner resources that help you to stay grounded, focused, and resilient, regardless of the external circumstances.
It's about self-awareness, emotional regulation, mental clarity.
So what are some practical steps that a coach can take to build this inner citadel?
Well, I think you can start with simple things.
Yeah.
Like mindfulness, meditation, journaling.
Okay.
These help you to, cultivate self-awareness and create that inner space of calm, even amidst the chaos.
So it's like creating a mental workout routine.
Exactly.
To strengthen those inner muscles.
Yeah, and it's not just about mental practices either. I think, physical health plays a role too.
Okay.
Taking care of your body,
right.
Eating nutritious foods, getting enough sleep, exercising regularly.
Yeah.
These all contribute to your overall well-being and resilience.
It's like recognizing that your physical health is the foundation for your mental and emotional well-being.
Absolutely.
The book also emphasizes the importance of having a strong sense of purpose.
Oh, yeah, your why.
That why.
That deeper reason behind your coaching practice can be such a powerful source of motivation and strength when things get tough.
It's like that guiding light that keeps you on track.
Absolutely.
When you encounter obstacles or setbacks.
Right. Yeah. And the purpose might evolve over time, which is perfectly normal.
Right.
The key is to stay connected to what truly matters to you.
Okay.
And let that inform your decisions.
So building that inner citadel is really an ongoing journey of self-discovery and growth.
Absolutely.
One that empowers you to face any obstacle with courage and clarity.
It's not about achieving some kind of perfect state of unwavering strength.
Right.
It's about continually cultivating those inner resources that allow you to adapt and grow and thrive.
And you don't have to do it alone.
Oh, absolutely not.
Right.
Find mentors.
Yeah.
Connect with other coaches.
Okay.
Build a supportive community that will uplift and encourage you along the way.
It's like building a community around that inner fortress
to
make it even stronger and more resilient. Welcome back to our exploration of The Obstacle is the Way. It's been incredible to see how these ancient Stoic principles can be applied to the modern coaching world and, provide valuable insights for navigating the challenges and the opportunities of building a successful and fulfilling coaching practice.
Yeah, one of the things that really stands out to me is how the book emphasizes the importance of not just, understanding these principles, but actually integrating them into our daily lives as coaches.
Yeah.
It's about making them a part of our mindset, our habits, our approach to coaching.
Yeah. The book actually talks about meditations, which was Marcus Aurelius's personal reflections.
Yeah.
It's like this journal where he contemplated Stoic principles.
Yeah.
And how they applied to his own life as Emperor of Rome.
Talk about a leadership role.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like if he can find time to do this amidst, running an empire, I think we can all find a few minutes to reflect on these principles as well.
And it doesn't have to be a formal journal. It could just be a few minutes each morning.
Yeah.
Reflecting on the challenges that you're facing.
Right.
And how you can use these Stoic principles to navigate them.
Yeah. So instead of getting overwhelmed by that demanding client or, hitting a slow month.
Yeah.
We can use those moments to practice patience.
Yeah.
To get creative, to find new solutions.
To turn those challenges into fuel for growth.
Exactly. So Stoicism is not just about thinking differently.
No.
It's about living differently.
It's about action.
Yeah.
Persistence.
Right.
A commitment to serving others.
And the stories in The Obstacle is the Way really highlight that connection between thought and action.
Yeah.
I love how the book bridges the gap between these historical figures and the challenges that coaches face today.
Yeah. I think it's a powerful reminder that, human nature hasn't changed that much. We still face the same obstacles and fears and temptations.
Right.
But by learning from those who came before us, like Marcus Aurelius and John D. Rockefeller and Jack Johnson, we can develop the resilience and the wisdom to thrive amidst those challenges.
And, in today's world,
Yeah.
I think those challenges can feel amplified.
Absolutely.
We're constantly bombarded with information.
Yeah.
Always connected.
Yeah.
Facing a level of complexity that's, unprecedented.
It's so easy to feel overwhelmed and pressured to keep up.
Yeah, like there's this external standard of success that we all feel like we have to meet.
And that's where I think Stoicism offers a powerful antidote.
Okay.
It reminds us to focus on what we can control,
Right.
let go of what we can't,
Yeah.
and find contentment in the present moment.
Mm.
It's about simplifying our lives,
Okay.
clarifying our values,
Yeah.
and living with intention.
And I think The Obstacle is the Way offers practical guidance for coaches to do just that. One of the most inspiring takeaways for me was this idea that we can choose how we respond.
Oh, yeah.
To any situation.
And so powerful.
Yeah, we can choose to be defined by our obstacles, or we can use them as fuel for growth.
Absolutely. It's about shifting from, why is this happening to me, to what can I learn from this? How can I use this to become a better coach, a stronger individual, a more impactful force in the world?
Yeah, and this is an ongoing process, right? There will always be challenges and setbacks.
Yeah.
But each obstacle we overcome strengthens our resilience, develops new skills, and moves us closer to our goals.
I love that quote from Epictetus.
Oh, yeah.
He said, the greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it. Skillful pilots gain their reputation from storms and tempests.
And as coaches, we have this unique opportunity to not only embody these principles, but to guide our clients through their own storms and tempests.
To help them reframe those challenges, access their inner strength, and discover that, the obstacle truly can become the way.
This has been such an incredible deep dive.
It really has.
Into the obstacle is the way.
Yeah, so many insights.
So many insights and practical, actionable advice for coaches.
Yeah, I really encourage everyone listening to go check out the book.
Yes, definitely explore it further.
Yeah.
Uncover even more of those valuable insights.
Absolutely.
And as you continue on your coaching journey, remember these key takeaways. Embrace those obstacles. Take control of your perceptions.
How about it?
Take action.
Yes.
And never stop learning and growing.
You got it.
And remember, you're not alone on this path.
We're all in this together.
We are.
Navigating the complexities of the coaching world.
Yeah. By supporting each other, sharing our stories, embodying these principles, we can all create such a positive impact and make a real difference in the lives of our clients.
Absolutely.
And the world around us.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive into the obstacle is the way.
Until next time, keep diving deep, keep learning, and keep growing.